What's good to YouTube? It's your boy Bailey and welcome to Bailey TV. So since it's the first of the month and I'm a booktuber now, if you can't tell by the title, we are going to be getting into my January and February reading wrap-ups. So we could be here for a minute. Go ahead and grab you a little snack, grab you a drinky drink. I've got my Red Bull ready to go for this video. And yeah, if you enjoy the content, make sure you guys give a like, hit the subscribe button for more bookish content, and let's get into my wrap-up. Kicking it off in January, I read a book titled Granny's Got a Gun by Harper Lynn, and this book was a lot of fun, okay? So basically, it's a whole series about this ex-CIA agent who is now a grandma, basically, and she lives in this like area where it's mainly just like a bunch of senior citizens, and life is boring there, okay? She's at this book club, right? And when she's at the book club, one of the members suddenly dies. And with her being an ex-CIA agent, she looks at this as like the perfect excuse for some excitement, and she goes on this whole journey of trying to figure out what happened to her book club member. It was honestly a very, very quick read. I think it's like roughly like under 150 or so pages, but it was very quick, but it was also a lot of fun. Harper Lynn put a lot of humor into this book, and like, even though you're not with these characters for very long in the book, like, she did such a good job at making the characters like personable and have like humor and like seriousness and everything like that. Like, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun, and I do really want to continue reading this series because I think in each different installment, Granny, I forget her name right now, but Granny, she goes on and like solves like another murder basically. Then I read Surrender Your Sons by Adam Sass, and this book is about a kid who comes out to his mom who's like super religious, and she ends up having him like kidnapped in the middle of the night and sent away to one of those like weird ass fucking camps. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So she sends him away to one of those camps, and a whole entire like thriller and mystery unravels while Connor is at this camp. And this was my first 5-star read of the year. This book was fucking phenomenal, okay? Adam Sass wrote this book so well. So well. The characters are amazing. The suspense is amazing. Like, I love how it's written. I love that, like, it was literally just a page turner. I found myself reading this very fast because I just wanted to continue the story and figure out what was going on with Connor and everything like that. And the mystery that is involved in this, like, it runs pretty deep. Like, it was kind of jaw-dropping. Like, I don't know. This book was just so fucking good. And if you want, like, a young adult thriller mystery with gay people, I highly recommend Surrender Your Sons. So since Wicked released in November, I've been on like a Wizard of Oz Wicked high. So of course that means I had to dive into the Dorothy Must Die series by Danielle Page. This is the first book in the 4-book series, and this was a lot of fucking fun, okay? So this book is about a girl named Amy, right? And she's also from Kansas, and her life is kind of fucking shitty, okay? It's kind of shitty. So there happens to be shitty weather, a tornado, and somehow Amy finds herself plopped right into Oz. Except Oz is not the Oz that she's familiar with from books and movies. This Oz is like dark and drained of its magic. And come to find out, that's because Dorothy Gale came back to Oz and is now like an evil ruler. So then Amy gets mixed up with like an order of like witches and shit, and it basically becomes Amy's mission to kill Dorothy and restore Oz to its magical place. Now, I've been a Wizard of Oz fan for literally as long as I can remember, so this was such a fun take on the world of Oz and its characters, and it's a little darker and grittier than anything else that has to do with the Wizard of Oz. So I really enjoyed that. But this book does a really good job at like laying the groundwork for the rest of the series, and I really enjoyed that. I thought the writing was really good. The story, the pacing, like everything was just done really well, and I love that there was still a lot of like homage paid to the original. So if you're a Wizard of Oz fan, I definitely recommend checking out this series because, like I said, it's a lot of fun. So much fun. Next up, I read Lord of Eternal Night by Brandon Alderson, and this book is basically a Beauty and the Beast retelling with like a vampire and a witch. Can we get into this cover though real quick, like just for a moment? Like, this book is so beautiful. Like, that's what made me want to read this book, with this cover. Simply, like, this cover devours. Whoever did this artwork deserves to have their pussy ate. Like, that's all I'm saying. Now, I did not love this book the way that I was anticipating that I would. I still really, really enjoyed it, and I'll probably forever keep it on my shelf solely for the artwork. But this book it moved really slow. Like, it's not very big, okay? So it moved really slow until like the last maybe like 6-7 chapters, and I was enjoying myself throughout like its whole entirety. But the story was just moving so slow. But then those last couple chapters really hit hard and made it a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm still like working through like how I genuinely feel about this book, but still I enjoyed my time reading it, and it's not that I wouldn't recommend it to people. I think it just moved a little bit too slow for my personal liking, but the ending and like the last couple chapters really revved it up and like made it something. I ended up thinking I gave this book 3.5 stars, I think. But yeah, it was fun. It was cute, and it's gay. So like, you know, it's a vibe, but I don't know if it's like my favorite book that I've read so far this year. Lastly, for the month of January, I read A Little Bit Country by Brian D. Kennedy, and this book is about two boys. So you have Luke here, who basically he's just like a regular guy. He wants to just be a chef, but he's dealing with a lot of like personal issues. Like, he's not out to his family. He struggles with recognizing like being gay within himself. Then we have Emmett, who is very sure of himself and wants to become country music's first gay or openly gay singer. Emmett ends up getting a gig at Wanderworld performing in like their little shows they have, and Luke ends up getting a job at Wanderworld at like in the kitchen. He got help being hired by one of his friends. So they both work at Wanderworld. They inevitably run into each other, and then starts their love story, and that's what this book is. When I tell y'all I ate this up. I absolutely loved this. I loved the character dynamic. I loved the love story between the two boys. It was so cute. I loved like each character and like what they represented, and like, you know, I could see myself a little bit in each single one of them. I like the commentary on the music industry, like specifically country music with gay people. Like, this book was just so good, and I'm actually about to order me today a special edition of this book because I loved it so much. I literally think about Luke and Emmett all the time. And Brian, if you're listening and watching, if you ever want to write a sequel, I'm sat. Now we're about to get into what I read in February, and the first thing that I read in February, which I think I technically started at the end of January, was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now, if you don't know what Fourth Wing is about, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it, but I'm really surprised that you don't know what it's about and you're on this video. But anyway, Fourth Wing is about a girl named Violet who has basically trained her whole entire life to be a scribe, to be with the books, to be with the writing. And then one day her mom is like, oh, by the way, you're going to dragon school. Yeah, all that literature and everything, throw it away. You're going to go ride some fucking dragons. And Violet goes to this dragon school, and basically everything just unleashes from there. This is a wild fucking ride, guys. Like, I was a little hesitant on it because I knew that there was a lot of divide in the community of whether people really loved this or people who genuinely fucking hated it. So I took a swing because I wanted to form my own opinion, right? And I absolutely loved this. I thought it was so fucking fun, and it's not boring at all. And I was worried about the spice because that's what people said, that basically it's overly spicy. There was maybe a couple scenes, and if it has to do with Xaden, I'm sat, okay? But this book was just a lot of fucking fun, and I did do my first tandem read with this book. I listened to the audiobook and read it at the same time. And that just made me feel so much more immersed into the story. And there's a whole world that Rebecca has built that I cannot wait to get more into whenever I start reading Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. But this was a great first book from Rebecca that I read. Like, I loved Fourth Wing. I do think about it often. I think about Xaden a lot. But that's neither here or there. But this was just a lot of fun. Now, y'all know February is the month of love, so I wanted to read something along the lines like with the theme. So I read My Funny Demon Valentine by Aurora Asher, And this book, it's hard for me to explain what this book is about so quickly. I'm going to read the back for you. Asmodeus, Prince of Hell, just wants to make music, jazz specifically. Unfortunately, he's a demon and he's supposed to be evil. Clearly for Ash, a career as a musician isn't exactly an option, plus he's cursed. Sick of playing by the rules, Ash and his 3 brothers escape hell in search of freedom on Earth, but it's harder than they thought to keep their enemies off their tails. Yet everything changes for Ash when he meets a beautiful violinist who can see through his curse. No matter the risk, he has to have her. Evangeline Gregory is just your average human. She works at a jazz bar playing gigs on the weekends and apparently hallucinates demons. At least that's what Eva tells herself when moments after she meets the man of her dream, she sees him shift into a 7-foot-tall monster. Not believing her own eyes, Eva decides to investigate and soon finds herself in the middle of a supernatural clusterfuck. But Ash isn't the only one keeping secrets, and a shocking truth will change Eva's life forever, or maybe just doom it. The path to love can be complete hell. I don't typically like reading like straight couple, spicy romance books, but this one, with him being a demon, this one was a lot of fucking fun. And I really enjoyed this. Like, I really did. And like, there's a lot of twists and turns, especially towards the end. Like, there's kind of like a big revelation, and like, I was kind of shocked. But this was just a lot of fun. And even the spicy scenes, like, I really didn't mind. Like, they were pretty spicy. Let me tell you, they were spicy. But that's okay. They were still, like, this book was just a lot of fun. And it's cute. It's pretty. Now, will I ever reread this? I don't know. But I do want to check out the other books that are in this series. It was a lot of fun, and I really did like Ash and Eva as characters, and I really did like them as a couple. I thought they were mad cute. The brothers, they were a lot of fun. Yeah, the story was just fun, and it was cute. Next up for February, I read The Wicked Will Rise by Danielle Page, and this is the second book in the Dorothy Must Die series. And again, it's like the same premise as like the first book, except we're just furthering more into the story. And I thought that this was a great sequel. I had a lot of fun with it. It was really short. I think I finished it in like 24 hours. It was a lot of fun. Like, I'm really enjoying this series. Like, if you're a Wizard of Oz fan, I can't stress this enough. Check it out. You might really love it. It's so good. Then I read Ace of Spades, and I don't want to try to pronounce this author's name out of respect because I really don't want to butcher it. This book is about Chamika and Devon, and they are the only 2 black kids at an all-white, like, fancy, rich school that, like, basically you have to pay to be there, one of those schools. But they're the only 2 black kids there, and it's their senior year, and they do come from, like, polar opposite worlds. Like, Chamika, she's kind of like the popular girl, and Devon, he kind of is, like, in the background. It's their senior year, and everything is basically going as good as it possibly can for each person until they start getting anonymous text messages from a person named Aces who's about to leak all of their business. And while Chamika and Devon are going on this journey to figure out who the fuck Aces is, they start to unravel some pretty fucked up and like dark things about the school they go to and the whole history of Aces. When I tell y'all I ate this book up, I ate it the fuck up and left no crumbs, okay? I ate this book up and left no crumbs. This book definitely gives off vibes of like Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars mixed with Get Out. And it's done and executed so well. The author really put her whole foot into this book. Like, it's so good. And the commentary on like racial stuff was done really well. I really loved this book, and if you're like a fan of Pretty Little Liars or Gossip Girl, like you grew up watching those shows, this will definitely be right up your alley. It's a young adult like mystery thriller type of deal, and it's just really good. I love the 2 main characters too. Like, their personal problems that they deal with are really like relatable, more so for like black people, but there's still ways that I found these characters to be relatable. But this book is just so good. Do yourself a favor and just fucking read it. February brought me my first DNF, and that would be Dark Rise by C.S. Pacat. I don't even really know how to describe this book to you or tell you what it's about, because I read about up to I think chapter 15, and I was just so bored. I know that there's like this guy Will, he's like trying to be taken by a group of people because they know that he's like some type of like magical being, and they want to take him, and like the Dark King. Like, I really truly don't fucking know what this book was about. I was just so bored with it. I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. I thought the writing's not bad. It's just they also introduced like a lot of characters within like the first 2-3 chapters that like it's really hard to try to keep up with and be like, who the fuck is this person? I don't know. I found this book to be really boring and really hard just to get into. So this one is probably going to be unhauled here in a couple months. But yeah, I did not enjoy this. And if you did enjoy it, I'm so sorry, because I wanted to like this. I genuinely did. It's right in my alley. It's gays, it's magic, evil lords, all the shit. But I read almost 15 chapters and it just did not grab my attention. I was bored, so I DNF'd it. Now, I'm still currently reading this book, but today's March 1st, so I plan on finishing it anyway. And it's Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. And this book is about a woman named Cam and her husband Luke. And it's Cam's first day back to work after just having their baby Polly? Yeah, it's Polly. After having their baby Polly. And when she wakes up to, start getting ready for the day, get Polly ready, she notices that, like, Luke isn't in the house, he's not around, but she doesn't really think too much of it because, maybe he just went to work early. So then Cam does the things, she gets ready for work, she gets Polly to the nursery, she then goes to work herself, and as she's sitting at work, she hears all these cop sirens and all this shit going on. She gets up to go look to see what's going on because, she's nosy, like myself. I would be doing the same, Cam. Shit. And then while she's being nosy, she looks on the news to see that there's a hostage situation not too far from her job where a man has taken 3 hostages in this warehouse building. And while she's watching the news, she hears the sirens getting closer and closer, and she's thinking to herself, no, like, they're not coming to my building. They can't be. They do. They do. And as she's continuing to watch the news, the cops come up to her and they want to talk to her. And she's like, oh shit, my husband has to be one of the hostages. She could not be more fucking wrong. Her husband was the hostage taker, and the story just unfolds from there. This is another book that I'm absolutely devouring and leaving no crumbs. This book is so fucking good, guys. Like, oh my god. I'm determined to finish this today because I gotta know how this fucking ends. But like, those little synopsis that I just gave you, that's not even like scratching the surface of everything that is like about to happen in this book. It is going to blow your mind. It's absolutely insane. Gillian did her big one. This is so much fun. I love this. So if you're a thriller, mystery, true crime girly, this is for you. All right, all my book baddies out there. That is my January and February reading wrap up. That's everything I've read in the month of January and the month of February. And now that it's March, we get to start a whole new month of new books to read. And I'm so excited. And yeah, there's even a bunch of books coming out this month that I'm very excited, which that is probably going to be the next video that you are about to see. I am filming a video today where I'm going to be talking about all of the March releases that I'm really excited to read and pick up and everything like that. So that'll probably be the next video after this one. But that wraps up the wrap up. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up because it helps out more than you guys think. And if you want more bookish content, specifically for me, but if you want bookish content in general, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button because I will be posting at least one video a week. At least one. I can't make any more promises than that, but I will at least be posting one video a week. So go ahead and subscribe for all the bookish content and follow me on both my Instagrams. I have a main and I have a Bookstagram. Those will be linked down below. And I also think I'll put my Goodreads down there. So if you guys want to add me on Goodreads, go ahead. And yeah, just follow me on all my stuff down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.